Welcome to Bible Talk Insight. Today we're exploring something pretty profound, I think, an idea that often gets overlooked.
What's that?
Well, it's this concept that divine empowerment, the Holy Spirit's work, isn't just for preaching or prophecy.
Ah, right. You mean it extends to, well, practical skills, technical stuff.
Exactly. Hands-on work. We're talking about construction, craft, artistry, skills we use every day.
That's a really important reframing because, like you said, we hear filled with the Spirit and we immediately jump to maybe Pentecost or Paul's ministry, big upfront things.
Right. But today we're actually going way back to the wilderness. Picture this. The tabernacle is finally finished. Months of work.
And that moment in Exodus 40,
Yeah.
it's just incredible. Verse 34 talks about the glory of the Lord filling the tabernacle, God's actual manifest presence.
You can almost feel it, can't you? His holiness, his love right there. And it was visible too. The cloud by day, the fire by night. Amazing.
But hang on, how did they even build something worthy of that? These were former slaves, basically, out in the desert. Where did the skill come from?
Now we get to the heart of it. And the answer introduces us to our heroes for today, Bezalel and Oholiab.
Yes, these two are fascinating because the Bible singles them out. Think about it. They are the first people explicitly named as being filled with the Spirit of God.
And not for leading an army, not for giving a sermon.
Nope. For building, for designing,
Yeah.
for detailed, intricate craft work.
So here's the question we really want you, our listener, to wrestle with alongside us. If God poured his Spirit into these ancient craftsmen for their specific skills, what does that mean for your skills today?
Yeah, whether you're, I don't know, an engineer, a coder, maybe a nurse, a teacher, a mechanic, does God view your technical ability as a spiritual gift?
We think the Bible gives a really clear answer. And while you're thinking about that, maybe take a moment to subscribe to Bible Talk Insight if you haven't already.
Yeah, absolutely. And please do join us over on the Bible Talk Insight Facebook page. We share daily encouragement there, digging into the Bible and insights from Bible scholars.
Okay, so let's get specific about this divine empowerment. Because, you could argue maybe Bezalel was just naturally brilliant, a gifted artist. Why the need for the Holy Spirit just to, say, cut a gemstone?
That's the crucial point, isn't it? The text itself makes it really clear this was more than just innate talent. Exodus 31 and 35, they both say God specifically filled him with the Spirit of God.
Filled him, okay. And what did that filling involve? Was it just like a general spiritual boost?
No, it was incredibly specific. The Bible breaks it down. It says he was filled with wisdom and knowledge. So the big picture, the design aspect, right?
The what?
Exactly. But then it adds skills, abilities, and artistic capacities. That's the how. That's the hands-on mastery needed for working with gold, silver, bronze.
Wow.
And setting stones, carving wood, working with these complex fabrics for the sanctuary. It's the whole package from divine concept to perfect execution.
So it's not just about having the idea, it's about having the God-given ability to actually make it real and make it right.
Precisely. And think why this infusion was necessary. Why not just, hire the best craftsman they could find, maybe someone trained in Egypt?
Good question.
Because this tabernacle wasn't just any old tent. The New Testament later calls it a copy and shadow of the heavenly things.
Okay. So it was a model of a divine reality.
Right. And for humans to accurately reproduce that heavenly pattern with the precision and reverence it demanded, well, that required more than human skill. It needed spiritual power. Consecrated work for a consecrated object.
That really elevates the whole process. It makes complete sense. The weight of the task required divine help. And you mentioned Bezalel, but Oholiab was key too. And it wasn't just them, was it?
No, not at all. The gifting spread further. Oholiab was filled too, specifically gifted as an engraver, a designer, an embroiderer, showing the breadth of skills God empowered.
Engraving, embroidery. These are detailed, painstaking skills.
Absolutely. And then there are the women. The text highlights these women described as wise-hearted.
Wise-hearted. I find that phrase just beautiful. What did they do?
It speaks volumes, doesn't it? It points to the inner quality, the consecration behind the skill. These women, the text says, use their skills spinning the blue, purple, scarlet yarn, the fine linen.
So skills often seen as maybe domestic or everyday crafts.
Exactly. Skills perhaps easily overlooked. But here, they're represented as vital. Their willingness, their wise hearts, turn that labor into a sacred offering. It shows that any skill, no matter how humble it seems, becomes holy when it's dedicated to God.
Okay, so we have this divine infusion of skill, wisdom, artistry. But is that the whole picture? Is having the gift enough? What about the person using the gift?
Ah, now you're touching on something absolutely critical. The skill, the technical ability, even divinely given, isn't enough on its own. It's fundamentally insufficient if that's all there is.
So what else is needed?
Well, the Bible scholars really emphasize this connection. They link these spiritual gifts, whether it's building like Bezalel or teaching or administration, with character,
Mm.
specifically what the New Testament calls the fruit of the Spirit.
Love, joy, peace, patience, all of those.
Exactly. For the gift to truly flourish and achieve God's purpose, our own human nature, our character, has to cooperate with that divine power.
And if it doesn't, if character is lacking?
Then the gift can be misused or its impact spoiled. The Bible scholars use this striking imagery drawing right from the weaving and tapestry work of the tabernacle.
Oh, interesting. How so?
They warn that we shouldn't draw any thread of selfishness into the fabric, the web of life, or our work.
A thread of selfishness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because selfishness, even a little bit, spoils the whole pattern. It mars the design, no matter how technically brilliant the execution might seem.
Yeah.
If our work, even work using God-given skills, is ultimately driven by personal ambition or wanting earthly rewards or just making ourselves look good.
Then we corrupt the gift itself.
Precisely.
Yeah.
We undermine its divine purpose.
So God provides the power, the ability, but we have to provide the willing heart, the right attitude. The will has to respond.
That's it, exactly. The Holy Spirit influences us, nudges us, empowers us,
Hmm.
but our own will, our powers, need to respond to that influence. We have to be teachable, receptive.
And if we're resistant, stubborn, wanting our own way.
Then the light and power, well, they don't really have a lasting effect, do they? The heart needs that purification, that humility, for the work flowing from it to be truly pure and effective in God's eyes.
And when that happens, when the skill and the character align, that's when we see the kind of unity they must have had building the tabernacle, everyone working together.
That's the beautiful result, isn't it? You have all these diverse gifts, the master architect, the engraver, the spinners, the metalworkers, all brought under the control of the same Spirit.
Mm.
Yes, a harmonious effort. And more than that, it means the whole process, the interactions, the way people work together should be marked by love, by kindness, by patience. That outward display of selflessness becomes the evidence that the Spirit is genuinely working in the person, not just through their hands.
Okay, that model, that unity of skill and spirit, it feels like it leaps across the centuries, right? From building that ancient tent to, well, to our jobs today.
Absolutely. It bridges the Old Testament work directly to modern life, to modern mission.
Yeah.
The core principle hasn't changed one bit,
Which is?
that every ability we have, physical strength, mental sharpness, artistic flair, technical know-how, spiritual insight, every single power God has lent us is a stewardship.
A stewardship, meaning we're responsible for managing it well.
Exactly. We're responsible for using it faithfully for the specific work He's assigned us. And we tend to draw such narrow lines around what counts as mission work, don't we?
Yeah, we often think preaching, maybe medical missions, church leadership.
Right. But the Bible and the insights from Bible scholars just blow those boundaries wide open.
How so? I think a lot of listeners might struggle here. For someone that's thinking, okay, I'm an accountant or I run a farm or I write code, that feels, well, secular. How does my spreadsheet or my tractor suddenly become a consecrated gift?
That's the paradigm shift. According to these insights, in God's eyes, there is no sacred secular divide when the motive is pure and the work is done for His glory.
Really? No divide.
Think about this statement from the scholars. They said those who cultivated the soil, the farmers, were as truly in their lot and place as were the men appointed to minister in the priesthood and in work connected with the tabernacle.
Wow. Okay, that puts farming on par with priestly duties in terms of placement by God.
It elevates all honest, consecrated labor. It means that engineer designing a bridge, if they're using their God-given wisdom not just for structural integrity, but for safety, for fairness in the project, for serving the community well, that's their spiritual gift in action.
Or the accountant you mentioned.
Right. Their gift isn't just number crunching. It's manifested in integrity, in ensuring honesty, in being a faithful steward of resources. That ethical dimension, that wisdom like Bezalel had, that's the spiritual capacity applied right there in the office.
It reminds me of the Apostle Paul, this
Mhm.
giant of theology, this amazing preacher. But he wasn't above manual labor.
Paul is such a perfect example of this. Hugely gifted intellectually and spiritually, right? But he explicitly talks about working with his own hands. tent making.
Yeah, supporting himself.
He labored night and day sometimes, he says. It shows that practical work, professional skill, isn't separate from the mission. It's part of faithful service. It's integrated.
So that really brings the challenge home for us today, doesn't it? If Bezalel's incredibly specialized design skill was a spirit-filled gift, and if Paul's everyday tent making was consecrated labor.
Then our skills, whatever they're managing a team, fixing computers, caring for children, writing music, analyzing data, they need to be used with that same spirit of faithfulness.
We're being called to, what? Transform our regular jobs into spiritual offerings?
Essentially, yes.
Mhm.
To see our work not just as a way to earn a paycheck or build a resume or gather earthly treasures, but as a primary way we advance God's mission. When we're faithful with the talents, He's given us organizational, creative, technical, relational. We're actually investing in His kingdom. And that work, that effort, endures. It passes the test.
Okay, so let me try and wrap this up then. The big takeaway from Bezalel and this whole picture is our skills, the ones we have right now, they aren't separate from our spiritual lives at all.
Not at all.
When we combine them with a heart dedicated to God, a consecrated heart, they actually become powerful spiritual instruments, tools for His work.
That's beautifully put. We're meant to be lights in the world, right? And that light often shines most clearly through the excellence, the integrity, the love we bring to our everyday work. It reflects the transforming power of His grace.
God is pleased when we use what He's given us.
He really is. When His gifts are appreciated, nurtured, and then offered back to Him in service, that brings Him joy.
Well, thank you for exploring this with us. We really hope this look at practical skills as spiritual gifts has been an encouragement and maybe a new perspective for you.
Yeah, food for thought, definitely.
And we really encourage you, please subscribe to Bible Talk Insight so you don't miss our main episodes or future supplemental insights like this one. And join the conversation on Facebook.
And always remember, Christ is that pearl of great price. In Him, everything finds its true value and meaning. When you trust Him completely, every skill, every part of your life takes on eternal significance.
Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, everyone. He's the source of all true wisdom, all skill, all light. Let your consecrated work shine brightly for Him. Until next time on Bible Talk Insight.